Well, there is this saying by the elders, of course, in the Yoruba land, and I believe a lot of people agree with it that if you don't know where you are going, for instance, you're going somewhere and you miss your way, you at least know where you're coming from so that you don't get further, lost. My name is Olukole Abrams, and of course, we'll be looking at something very, very serious, and that's what I've titled The Desirable Nigeria of Yesterday. Now, that does not sound funny anyway, because we should be thinking of improving on what we had before. But now, we wish we had the things that we had before, compared to what we have today, trying to, pull things together. Well, join me as we run through this. Well, a number of things popped up as I was, I saw this, this was sent to me by a former director in one of the parastatals in government. He's retired anyway, but then he just wanted me to see the way things were, because I've been very, very inquisitive of the way things used to be. Yes, I'm some, years old now, but then I still believe that there are quite a lot of people who had gone ahead of me, before we got here. So what we are seeing today, the Nigeria of today, is not what it used to be before. We are being told by this simple writer that visas, UK going to England used to be visa free, and other Western countries used to be visa free. Going to those places used to be very, very visa free, unlike what we have today, where people have to queue at embassies and all that. I remember I went to, somebody gave me an invitation to one of these Schengen countries, and I was at the embassy. Interestingly, I went in company of the person. Interestingly, the person who gave me the invitation was in the country at that time, so he said we should go together. And as soon as we got there, we saw a very long queue, and this white guy just came out and said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're closed for the day. And I was like seriously? The queue went from the street where the embassy is to the next street. And so you come out and you pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 persons and you say you are closed for the day. You know what? Some people had been at that embassy since the day before, night before. They've been there. So they slept there. They slept at the embassy, so as to be in the front queue, on the front of the queue. Man, that's serious. But the Nigeria that used to be, was a Nigeria where visa free, it was visa free to England and other Western countries. But once come to think of it again, it was a Nigeria where $1 was equal to 70 kobo. Can you compare that to what we have today? You can compare that to what we have today. $1 equaled 70 kobo. That means that the naira was more powerful than the kobo. I mean, the naira was more powerful than the dollar. I beg your pardon. So that was what Nigeria used to be. I also understand that it's the same Nigeria that had the largest airline in Africa and over 30 fleets of ships. River Kotangora, River Ose, River this and that. All of these had fleets of ships. The Nigeria Airways is suddenly, of blessed memories, and countries like Kenya, Ghana, countries that came up, shortly after we did, get independence or what have you, and even with little or no resources, they have been able to maintain fleets of, carriers in their national career. But then here we are today. But the truth is, Nigeria used to be, the largest airline in Africa. We also being asked that is this the same Nigeria that flight ticket to London was 150 naira? That is not compared to what it is today. It takes some hundreds of thousands for you to travel. It takes some hundreds of thousands for you to travel, but before it used to be 150 naira. So for those of you who do not know history, this will help you, to know that. Of course, this same Nigeria is a Nigeria where visa was not needed to travel to the United Kingdom. I understand that you just go to the airport, pick up your ticket, and you fly. That's the way it used to be, just like you're flying to Abuja or you're flying to Port Harcourt. That's the way it used to be. I also understand that the return ticket to the United States used to be 1,200 naira. a return ticket. That means you're going to New York and you're coming back to Lagos, you need just 1,200. Yes, you might say, oh, at that time, it's supposed to, that amount was huge then. Yes, but not the way it is today. Also, we also noted, or being told that Nigeria used to be, Nigeria was this nation where it's unfortunate, but then I believe things will come up, things are getting better, things will get better, and surpass what it used to be, before. But then, like I gave you that adage at the beginning, if we did not know where we're coming from, then if we don't know where we're going to, but at least we should know where we are coming from, so that at least let's retrace our steps and then take it up from there. We'll be able to retrace our steps from there. We understand that Dubai came to borrow money from Nigeria at some point. Dubai came to borrow money from Nigeria, and instead of borrowing them, they were given. Nigeria dashed them money. Interesting. That is very, very interesting. When I saw this, I was intrigued to it. But this is the same Nigeria that is so neck deep into debt today. Billions of dollars being owed by the country called Nigeria. Today, we now look back and we see this same nation where Major General Yakubu Gowon said the only problem we have in Nigeria is how to spend our money. We had so much money that the problem we had was how to spend that money. He said it, and by the grace of God, the same man is still alive today, and I wonder how they feel. I wonder how they feel every time they sleep and they wake up and they listen to the news, they watch the things that are happening around. I wonder how they feel. In this same country, a brand new Peugeot 504 used to cost less than 5,000 naira. In this same country, in Nigeria, it used to cost less than 5,000 naira. That is interesting to say that things used to be that way before. When you now move on to begin to check what the plants that were in Nigeria were, we used to have the Peugeot plants in Nigeria, we used to have the Volkswagen plants in Nigeria. All these assembling plants are nowhere to be found. Thus, they have become warehouses for people who need them to be rented out and all that. These are all avenues that could have created the jobs that we are, dying to get in Nigeria. Trying to create jobs for so many. These are organizations or companies that would have been, employing people. It would have become bigger than it is, or it worse than. These things used to be in Nigeria. The Volkswagen plants, the Peugeot plants, the steel rollings, and all of them used to be here. And of course, Nigeria used to have great leaders such as Zik. We call it in short is Zik, but that's Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, one of Nigeria's greatest leaders that has lived. We have the likes of Alhaji Tafawa Balewa. We also have the likes of Pa Awolowo, Obafemi Awolowo, and of course we have the likes of Chief Enahoro. All these leaders are where in Nigeria. They are Nigerians. They are legends. Born and brewed in Nigeria. But this is the Nigeria that we used to have, with these great minds coming up in Nigeria. I understand that this same Nigeria was a nation where Indians used to come and apply for teaching jobs. Indians. But I guess today, if somebody is given a free ticket to go to India now, he will take off. We just need to look back and retrace our steps as a nation. We just need to look back and retrace our steps as a nation. I understand that it's this same Nigeria that Ghanaians, Liberians will look at as being abroad. When they travel to Nigeria as going abroad, like you travel to the United States or to anywhere in the world and you say you're going abroad. When Ghanaians come to Nigeria, or when Liberians or other countries, African countries, neighboring nations come to Nigeria, they say it's like they've traveled abroad. But what do we have today? What's the difference? What has gone wrong? I understand that it is this same Nigeria that spent billions fighting against apartheid regime in South Africa. They have supported and helped to fight apartheid in South Africa, spent billions in fighting, helping in other nations. We need help at this time. We are the ones that need help now. It is this same Nigeria that spent billions on peacekeeping in Congo, Liberia, and Syria alone. All this, when I read through, I was amazed. Imagining that this huge biography has been written about Nigeria. It's mind-blowing. But I believe strongly that things could get better again. That means we already have a mold for beautiful things to happen in Nigeria. That means we already have the shape in place. We just need something to come out. We just need something to be molded out of the mold that we already have. We already have the landscape. We already have the land to build what we need to come out of Nigeria. We understand that this same Nigeria it built housing estates in Lagos and in Ogun State for refugees from Liberia. Nigeria building housing estates for refugees from Liberia. This same Nigeria funded and hosted the first Black Arts Festival. This same Nigeria where consumption canned foods like geisha and sardine. I understand that. I'm sorry. I understand that these foods were looked at as, by students. They were seen as food for the poor. But then today, these are very, very, these are foods that people eat, and you must belong to the who is who to eat this kind of food, as it were in quotes. But then in those days, I understand by what I have been given that students see this food as that for the poor. I was even asking how many fishes are there in those things again. And I understand that there's been so much reduction. There's been so much reduction in the things that are put in those there. I don't blame those organizations anyway. But seriously, somebody said the pepper in one of them is no more pepper again. That it has been so, come on. Things can be good again. I also understand, they talked about peak milk. It says peak milk, yes. Sorry I had to mention name because it was actually given to me. It said peak milk used to be sold for 10 kobo. 10 kobo. The naira was so powerful. Peak milk used to be sold for 10 kobo, and every other brand sold at 8 kobo downwards. You ask me, can we still have times like that again? I answer you by faith, it is possible. It's possible. It says in this same Nigeria, students were given jobs and cars incentive in their final year in the university. Before they get out, before they graduate. In fact, somebody told me that she was given a job by the time she graduated, she was given a teaching job, and she said no, she didn't go for it. He said, and after 3 months, they were still begging her and said, oh, please take this job. She retired as a head teacher. She retired as a head teacher. She grew through the ranks. Interesting. We also understand that in this same Nigeria, secondary school students could travel to any other states unaccompanied without fear whatsoever. The security system was intact. Nobody, there was no caricature of, whether you belong to this religion or that. This issue of insecurity, banditry, terrorism, and all of that was nowhere. Kidnapping was not the issue. You could just put your child on this bus, on this vehicle, and you tell the person on the other hand is already on the vehicle at so time, pick the child up. I remember my sister traveled to the United Kingdom. She traveled alone, very, very young. She traveled alone. They just told my older sister, pick her up at so time. And I mean, she's alive today. That was quite over some years back. And so it means that she got there safely and everything was fine. And so let me just add a few other things that I saw there. That Nigeria, where secondary students from the west travel to the east or north for excursions, and vice versa. We just kept going and coming. But then today, even not students, even grown up, there is the fear of moving around. This is Nigeria where nobody cared about religious affiliations, where Christians and Muslims coexisted amicably. There was no issue of whether you were a Muslim or you were a Christian. Nobody knew all that. I saw in the news the Muriks Khan saying that they want a Christian president, the Muriks saying that it's not time for Christians to become president. Is that the issue? We need somebody to help us. We need somebody to transform the nation. We need somebody to lead us. It's not the issue of whether the person is a Muslim or a Christian. We need somebody who God wants to be in office, who God has sent to help us out. It's not an issue. It wasn't an issue before. The coexistence of Muslims and Christians never came. I mean, there wasn't any issue with them coming up. He says, I also say here, he said, is this not the same Nigeria that was the giant of Africa? It was the giant of Africa. We are coming back. We're coming back. It says this same Nigeria was ahead of France and some other European countries in terms of development, courtesy western regions of Nigeria. Somebody said this is certainly not the Nigeria that used to be justice, but of course the truth is, it is the same Nigeria, and here we are today, we find ourselves. I believe strongly that if we do not find our way ahead, forward, we can retrace our steps and, take off again. Somebody said the best time to have planted a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now for us to retrace our steps and, of course, find this Nigeria that we so desire. I remember in 2010, I came up with an innovation of the Imagine New Nigeria. And of course, some of those proposals were stolen by some people. I don't mind. You understand? It's not even an issue. I've seen quite a lot of things. So I'm okay as long as things are coming up, as long as we are bringing to limelight the things that we so desire. I trust God that Nigeria will once again become a very peaceful, we're a peaceful nation, a well-developed nation, a nation with a very strong economy, where our naira will become much stronger again, and so many things will come alive. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, share this video with others, of course, for the sake of the history that I've shared in this. Thank you very much once again for watching. My name is Olukunle Abraham.